Nerd alert! If stationery doesn't do it for you, then perhaps you would prefer to watch one of my other videos. If, on the other hand, planners are your jam, then step right this way because I have the Scribbles That Matter planner hot off the press. And I has opinions. Let's go! Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and I help you get organized, get motivated, and find your perfect planner. And as soon as I heard about this, I knew I would have to have it in my life because I am running out of planners and notebooks. This is what I spend all that YouTube money on, folks, in case you ever wondered. So I'm going to spin you around, give you a flip through of what is inside this, give you some stats, size, page quality and thickness, all that good stuff, and my thoughts and impressions. Okay, cue the spinny thing. So this is the box it comes in, which was honestly a nice little surprise. But let us take a look inside. The cover is made with vegan leather. It's very, very soft. This is the only color it comes in right now, so if you're not a fan, you're fresh out of luck. It is a B5 size, so it's about 10 inches high, about 7 inches wide, and about 1 inch thick. And I know sometimes it's kind of still hard to imagine, so here is a comparison with their A5 notebook, just for reference. So that will give you a good idea of the difference in size. Now there are 3 bookmarks, which is nice. The front has a bullet planner debossed on it, and then the back has the Scribbles That Matter logo and some doodles debossed on the bottom. I will say that to me the elastic feels a little bit loose. So if I look at like their notebooks, it just feels a little bit tighter on the notebook. This one feels quite loose. I honestly don't think it would be an issue though, especially as the planner starts to fill up. But that was just kind of my initial impression there. The first unique thing about it is that the pen loop is on the spine. And I'm really not sure how I feel about that. It's definitely interesting. Sliding pens in and out though has a tendency to scratch the spine, to scratch the leather, which, you know, being a type A perfectionist doesn't sit very well with me. But the best thing about it is that it is actually snug enough to fit a slim pen. So let me just slip a pen in here. So this is a really slim pen that I own. Slips in there really nicely, and that is not budging, like that is not going anywhere. But you will also easily be able to get a fairly large pen in there. I don't have a really large pen, but like, there you go. There's enough of a stretch on that. Or you could even get kind of 2 regular-ish pens in there. It's really nice to have a pen loop that can accommodate various sizes. I don't know though about this on the spine. I'm still undecided on this one, but it's still great to have a pen loop. A lot of planners don't come with them. So let's open it up. So it's black, kind of recycled, textured paper in the front. This is beautiful. Rounded corners, for me, that's always a plus. And then you have your title page where you can add your details. And I like the little touch of the, you know, date journal started and the date journal ended. After that then is your key. That's kind of standard Scribbles That Matter fare. It's the same in their notebook. And then a year at a glance for 2017, in case you need to look back on a date, I guess. And then 2018 and 2019 on the next double spread. Slightly unusual layout with the placement and the dot grid around it, but meh, not a big deal to me. I do like, however, that it is titled on the top right. So I don't know if you can see that. It says year at a glance, and all the pages are like that. They all have a little title on the top right. You will notice though that there are no numbers and there is no index. Now with 3 bookmarks, that's probably not going to be an issue for most people. And you can always add your own numbers and index if you want, but it is just worth noting. The pages though, ugh, as in their notebooks, are buttery smooth. It's £70 paper or 100 GSM. I really love the Scribbles That Matter pages. So soft. So next page then. This I love. A weekly tracker for the whole year. And this is probably going to sound insane, but when I first saw it, I wondered why they'd left space at the end. Most people would write whatever they're tracking on this side. But then it struck me that, one, I prefer the fact that it's centered. I have a personal preference for symmetry. Yeah, I told you it would sound insane. But two, it could be great for kind of adding tallies or scores or a little note at the end of the year. I was also a little bit unsure as to why they broke it down into 2 boxes instead of just having one big tracker. But then I thought some people might want to track, personal and work related things, or have one for maybe goals and habits, where you just kind of fill in the boxes. And then the other maybe for tracking things on a chart. So something like your weight or your social media followers, maybe where you're basically graphing something. So you have options. So this actually is a win for me. After that, beautiful, clean planning space. You could use this as an index, as a brain dump, as doodle space for a collection. Really, the possibilities are pretty endless here. So it's 2 full spreads for that. And then your month at a glance. This is such an interesting layout, and it's something that overall, I think Scribbles That Matter have excelled in, and that's giving just enough of a layout to kind of help you along the way, but also enough flexibility and enough options to really make it your own. So here at the top, you could just write the name of the month in big text. You could doodle, you could add in things to remember, a quick to-do list, a theme or a word for the month. Again, so many options. And blank so that you can start any month. Then you've got your dates, which is similar to the bullet journal system in that they're numbered and you just write in the first letter of the day, but it is in the middle. So again, if you wanted to, you could divide it between personal and work, or maybe your calendar and someone else's calendar, like your partner's, or maybe your kids' appointments and stuff on one side, or maybe even your calendar on this side, and then afterwards you could go back and write down the highlight of the day or something you're grateful for that day. So many options, so I really like that. Here then you've got a daily habit tracker already drawn out, which is handy because those things can be a total pain in the arse. You've got goals to accomplish and tasks to complete. And then at the bottom, something that I love and I do myself, a monthly review. Though I definitely need more space for this. But this is really the spread I think you're going to come back to see how much progress you've made that month. So definitely where one of your bookmarks will go. There are 12 of those, so you see that will see you through a full year. Now some people do prefer that their weekly pages start immediately after their monthly page. Personally, couldn't give a monkey's, but you might. After that then, if I just zip to the next section, this is the bulk of the planner, how the bulk of the planner is made up, and that is weekly pages, and on the next page a daily page. So again, you see here at the top, weekly timekeeper. Now there are some extra pages at the end that I do want to show you, but let's just have a quick look at these first. So inspirational quote down the left side, which I always feel is a really nice touch. It's got a Monday start. That's a personal preference for me, and equal space for Saturday and Sunday. Space around it to do whatever you please, really. Maybe write the month, what week number it is, doodle, write a to-do list. Again, lots of flexibility. So you can pop the date in then beside the day, and then each day has a 24-hour time slot starting at midnight. I can see how this would be far too small for a lot of people, particularly if you have big writing or maybe if you attend a lot of meetings, etc. But I will say that because the daily pages follow immediately afterwards, where you'll have so much more space to kind of flesh things out, this could be a really good kind of at a glance view of what your days are looking like. And they could also be used maybe for block scheduling, where you can just block out certain times for certain tasks, maybe tracking your sleep. So a few different ways to play around with it. And then boxes at the bottom for whatever, a meal plan, a gratitude list, reminders, holidays, birthdays, or even for those doodles or lettering challenges that you see on Instagram. So again, just kind of whatever you make of it. And then this, the next one, is probably my favorite spread, the dailies. So at the top, just says dailies. But again, it's giving you some structure, but really allowing you to put your own stamp on it. So you'll see it's only got the weekdays marked on it, and then the extra space here is unmarked. So the brilliant thing about this is that if your weekends are quiet, you can just divide this box into, you know, Saturday and Sunday, and then have this entire space here for whatever you want. But if you do like to give equal space to Saturday and Sunday, you pop Saturday here, Sunday here, you know, draw a line, and you've still got this extra space here that you can do whatever you like in. So you could doodle, write a list, use it for a collection, maybe take notes, or even kind of use it as overspill. You know, if one of your days is particularly busy, you can just kind of continue it on down here. You could pop a photo in there, a quote, whatever you like. And you can change it up every single week. So maybe one week you need to take equal space for Saturday and Sunday, but the next you don't. Or maybe one week you need to kind of take notes at a meeting, but the next you just want to doodle. Maybe one week you want to kind of draw out a mind map or get all kinds of creative, and the next you need to make a list for your business trip. It's just so customizable. I really love that. So you've got 52 of each of those, your weekly and your daily spreads. Oh, just look at that. Look how those pages lie almost completely flat. That is the benefit of a thread-bound planner. Then you come to the back. So let me flip over here. You have got 4 double spreads of dot grid pages to do whatever you please with. Again, really, really soft paper, but for notes or collections or whatever you need. After that, then there is a password manager. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to freak out about this, like, oh no, security. But you don't actually write down your passwords. They're just password hints, kind of just, you know, to jog your memory. And if you have kind of more than this amount of accounts, which I would imagine a lot of people do these days, you could easily just divide the page in 2. And then look at this page on the next bit. I really like this. A mindfulness page. So flip through this planner from the first page to the last. See all the scribbles? A mirror to your past. What have you learned? How have you grown? Reflect and ponder when you are alone. How lovely. So it's a place to kind of reflect back on the whole year and what you've achieved and how you've grown and all the things you've seen and done and everything you have learned. Personally, I think this would require much more space, so I would have liked to see an extra page or 2 in there for that, but it's still really nice to have it, especially when you fill a notebook. I think the tendency is to quickly jump into your new one, whereas this just prompts you to kind of take a moment and look back first. And then the pen test page, which I thought was such a lovely addition to their notebooks, and I'm really glad to see it in the planner. Now, because the pages are the exact same in the notebook and the planner, I'm not going to rewrite everything in this one. So let me show you the one that I did in the notebook. Now, I have added a few extra pens. I don't know if you have seen my Scribbles That Matter notebook review. I will link it in the top corner here and then the description box below. But I did add 2 new pens to the test, which was the Uniball Air and then the Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen in the S size. So they're the 2 new ones I just added there at the bottom. So let me flip you around and you can see the teeny tiniest bit of bleed with the Uniball. And honestly, I'm not a bit surprised. It is a very broad tip and a very wet ink. But other than that, everything held up really, really well. So I'm really pleased with that. So that is the pen test. Like I said, the pages are the exact same in both. So that will give you a good idea of kind of what types of pens you can use. Then at the back here, you've got your black backing page. And then I was actually wondering if it would be in the planner too, and it is a pocket. So notes, receipts, maybe a little notebook, photos, whatever. And that is it. That is the new bullet planner from Scribbles That Matter. So back to the spinny thing. Honestly, I really like it. I think the problem that a lot of planners have is that they can be a little bit too structured for some people, myself included. So we end up turning to things like bullet journaling, but then we find that they're maybe not quite structured enough, particularly if we want to do things like draw out layouts and habit trackers and all that stuff. Downsides, though, it's not numbered and there is no index, so that may be an issue for some people. Also, if you have a lot of collections and you prefer to keep them all on separate pages, you know, you don't want to use the blank space that's in the daily pages, then you are probably going to run into problems with this. Honestly, I don't think it would be an issue for me, but it might be for you. Size could also be a deterrent for some people. If you're going to be using it for work, I don't think you're going to have any trouble fitting it into your work bag, but it is going to weigh you down, or certainly more than just a notebook would. So it weighs about 1 kilo or about 2¼ pounds. So yeah, it's pretty hefty, but honestly, for a planner, not too bad. Feel the burn. For me, this planner is a great balance between structure and flexibility. The main components are all there, but you can use them in so many different ways. So you can change it up to suit your preferred setup. You could be serious one week and then playful the next. I think this planner is the answer that a lot of people have been looking for. Price point then, it is about $35 or about £25 sterling. So yes, it is going to set you back more than a regular notebook would, but if you find that you are spending a lot of time drawing out layouts and habit trackers and all that stuff, or maybe you've stopped using your bullet journal completely because you're just fed up spending time doing all of that, then this is worth investing the extra money, I think. Also, you may be lucky enough to get it on discount. It's also definitely worth it if you are currently spending the same or more on a planner that's just not working for you. But I would love to hear what you think about this. Do you think this could work for you? If so, what do you like most about it? And if not, why not? What is turning you off? I know the Scribbles That Matter team are great about taking feedback on board and actually acting on it. So all of your comments will really help them, I'm sure, when it comes to designing and producing a version 2.0. For me, more colors, please. Preferably this green. Green everything. If you are really interested in stationery, and I'm going to assume that you are because you are still watching, I have a playlist that is dedicated to planners and bullet journals and notebooks and all of that good stuff. So I will link it above in a card and below in the description box. I am also going to link to where you can find this planner on Amazon and to the Scribbles That Matter Instagram account. Go follow them. They are the nicest people. Sound of the pound, as we say in Ireland. Until next time, I am off to sniff this bad boy. Love that new planner smell. Cur mille maith agaibh, agus feici mé sibh go luath. Slán.